Gaffer, it's Monday morning after a long trip to Cambridge. How important was it to be able to get a point there and continue the momentum that we've built so far this season?
Yeah, it definitely changed the vibe in the second half. On Saturday, it was a valuable point, and certainly, it retains that feel-good factor around the place.
It was a bit of a bend and don't break performance in the first half. Mentioned after the game in previous seasons, we could have found ourselves 2 or 3 down, but found a way to stay in the game and got our reward in the end.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Neil Harris mentioned that to us, Paul and I, after the game, that we've got a resilient group at the club, and the lads gave everything. And I said, we were up against it first half, but if the scoreline is narrow, we went in 1-0 down, we can't be too downbeat, and it was about resetting it and making sure that everyone carried out the roles and kept being positive and optimistic, and second half was a different story.
We spoke a bit after the game about one of those roles in particular, and the instructions Duke McKenna took on into the second half coming a bit narrower. Those 3 behind the striker, they're all really talented players, but still very young. How important is it to do the less glamorous side of the game and take on those instructions in order for them to keep developing and become really good players for this team?
Yeah, well, any team at this level, on the pitches that we're playing at, and they're so good, the pitches now, people can take advantage, and start purring, start feeling good about themselves. If they outnumber you in any area of the pitch, and we arrive late into the shape, and that's what was happening first half. We nullified that in the second half, and the Y-men were brilliant. And like you said, we have got that creative edge to our game now. We want them on the ball, and they are honest guys as well. When we pointed out at half time where we could just be a little bit tighter out possession, they carried out their roles brilliantly. And you mentioned Duke; he was right up there with the game's best performers.
It was a long away trip and quick turnaround to tomorrow night. What does a Monday session look like when it is such a short turnaround between the next game?
All right. Well, we did the video analysis, short and sharp. Of the other day, what didn't go so well, what did go very well for us when we performed better in the second half, how we created problems for them, and there's always things to build on and improve. And then we moved following that quickly into Barrow, our next opponents tomorrow night, and talked about their strengths and where we have to nullify them and hopefully come out on top.
Yeah, looking at Barrow, they had a really good win themselves at the weekend. Are you expecting as tough a test as the games we've played already? 2 teams who've come down from League One and a strong Grimsby side?
Yeah, I think it will be a tough game. Obviously, beating Notts County is no mean feat. Over the last couple of years, it's a really tough task, that. And so a last-minute winner gives any changing room that belief and upbeat nature of it. So, we've got to understand that. They'll be galvanised from that. But we're at home. We performed very well against Grimsby. We've taken a good away following with us that were really behind us at the end of the game. And we've got to take that in our stride as well and enjoy it, and enjoy being back at home for 2 games and make the most of it.
Yeah, looking at our last home league game, it looked a real threat going forward. Is that the ambition again, that we get out there on the front foot as soon as we can and really attack and get the crowd off their seats?
Definitely, that's what it's about. It's that unity now of the crowd being behind us and us giving them what they want and desire, and making sure we're on the front foot.
Barrow manager said after the game, he talked about their togetherness, not just the players but the staff as well. It's something we've put a lot of emphasis on here. I know, of course, every manager wants that, but do you see similarities between us and Barrow in that they really value that togetherness of the squad, and they certainly always seem to be quite tight games when we do come up against them?
Yeah, I think so. I think both teams have been known for that in the league, that tough nuts to crack, willingness to put bodies on the line, but we have to make sure that we try and come out on top of that battle.
So, mentioned already, it's a quick turnaround. We spoke after the game about the 3 who came on, made a big impact and helped us finish the game strongly. Is this the type of season, the time of a season where the games are coming thick and fast, that it really is a test of our squad strength as well?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, it's up to us to recognise when people are getting tired and make sure that we utilise the resources we now have, and we're able to put 3 men on there that all made a good impact straight away, and also players going on with the belief they can go and win the game.
Thank you.
Cheers.